By now, most of us have seen public charging stations like these. But exactly how do they work? For starters, many of these e-pumps do charge you via an app on your phone. Next, there are 3 levels of car charging. Level 1 is your basic outlet at home. Yep, it works, but it's slow, about 4 miles after an hour of charging. Level 2 is much faster, 4 to 10 hours to charge most of the battery. They are found in public or from a dryer outlet in your home. Then there's level 3, high speed, like the Tesla chargers you've seen. It's about 20 to 30 minutes of charging. Fact is, though, EV users will do most charging at home.
I think this is an undersold feature of electric vehicles, that when you can charge at home, it means you leave every day with a full tank of gas, and you never have to stop at a gas station again.
But if you do have to travel a distance, some are worried New Hampshire has a lack of public chargers, and it could cost tourism dollars.
Yeah, they're coming up here in their electric vehicles, but I think what they're finding is that there aren't a lot of places to charge, especially as you get beyond the metropolitan areas.
Jessica Keeler heads up Ski New Hampshire. She's concerned many of our out-of-state skiers who use electric vehicles may hesitate to ski here if they can't charge up for the ride home.
We do recognize it as a potential threat to our economies if we don't step up. Maine and Vermont have been moving forward more quickly than we have, and we definitely don't want to lose market share to those states or anywhere else for that matter.
Some ski areas have installed public chargers, but putting in these devices is expensive, which is why the federal government is now stepping in.
It's pretty easy to find a gas station, off most exits or, at a lot of intersections. It's a little bit more difficult to find those charging stations, so we're trying to fix that problem.
Michael Moser of New Hampshire DOT is part of a team setting up a network of high-speed chargers in New Hampshire. As part of a nationwide effort, New Hampshire received $17 million federal dollars to install more devices like these every 50 miles along major highways and routes.
So, we're looking at putting, probably somewhere around 20 to 20 sites when we're done in the state that'll each have about 600 kilowatts of capacity to charge vehicles.
As of 2023, according to PlugShare.com, New Hampshire already has over 600 public chargers, but estimates show we may need more than 5,000 in the future. The state is hoping these new subsidized stations will help push the business world to offer chargers and sell electricity.
What we're looking at right now is our plan vision is really to stimulate the private industry to start putting them in.
One local city is sparking developers to see chargers as part of their future too.
We need to have charging everywhere, and people who live in apartments or condos, that can be one of the hardest things.
Sherry Beaushirt is chair of Lebanon's Electric Vehicle Advisory Committee. In early 2023, she helped push through a new rule meant to help renters or condo owners get access to charging stations like this one.
We became, I think, the first community in New Hampshire and one of the first in the country to require new developments to include EV charging.
The city has seen a spike in electric car use and hopes to install more public chargers like this one near Walmart. It was busy with EV owners the entire time we were here. Sherry says the goal is to help the environment, but she says more people are seeing the savings if you have patience.
If you compare similar vehicles, Consumer Reports says the break-even point is at about 5 years, and from then on you're saving money.
And it's not just cars. Lebanon hopes to get electric street sweepers too. And if you listen to some of the public buses here, you'll notice it's quieter. Advanced Transit operates free bus service in the Upper Valley and now runs 2 electric buses in their fleet to lower their carbon footprint.
For the riders, it is definitely a much quieter ride than our diesel buses. And as a driver, from what I understand, it's also a smoother driving experience.
These buses charge overnight and can cover a normal bus route during the day. They plan to add 2 more in 2024 and more after that.
Our plan is to replace our diesel buses as they near the end of their lifespan with electric buses instead. So we are slated to accomplish that by 2035.
Fact is, while many are ditching hybrids and gas vehicles for all electric, others are not. Perhaps they're waiting for a better charging infrastructure or more affordable EVs with better mileage. But supporters say this technology will improve and may someday change your mind.
If you're driving farther, maybe you'll take a little longer and you'll wait for the battery technology to get better. But that's the thing, is the battery technology is going to get better. You know, if you're not comfortable in EV now, wait 5 years and you'll be pretty impressed with what's coming down the line.